Unit 8, Day 1 video notes, the graphing method and the substitution. Okay, so I have a couple of equations here, and I need to figure out the solution to this system of equations. I have two variables, two equations. And I'm going to graph each of these equations, graph the line that it forms, and find out where those lines cross. That point will be the solution. So to start off with, let me go ahead and take this equation and put it into slope-intercept form. So first let me just rewrite it. X minus y equals 6. So I will subtract x from both sides, giving me negative y equals negative x plus 6. Now I need to divide both sides by negative 1 to get rid of the negative coefficient on my y. When I do that, of course, I'm going to, on the right side of the equation here, distribute that division. The negative will change both of the signs. It will change the negative x to positive x and plus 6 to minus 6. So I will get y equals x minus 6. And now I need to graph that. And let me play with my line tool here and see if I can get this to work. Okay, I need a solid line instead of a dotted one. And now I'm going to put in a line that's y equals x. It has a slope of 1. And I'm going to have to there. Now I've got my slope of 1. I need to move this line so that I have a y-intercept of negative 6. Okay, so I need to I need to get the line to move. There we go. And I'm going to bring it down so that I'm at negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now I need the other line. And to do that, I'm going to need to take this other equation and solve for it. So let me just go ahead and I will move these down here where I can see it easily from lower in the page. So now I'm going to take this equation and I'm going to solve it. So let me go ahead and rewrite it here. I've got 2x plus y equals 0. I will subtract my 2x from both sides in order to get, I will subtract 2x from both sides of the equation in order to get the y by itself. And when I do that, I will get y equals negative 2x. And that's plus 0. I don't need to write the plus 0. So I'll just leave it as y equals negative 2x. Now let me go ahead and graph that. That means a negative 2 for a slope, and it's going to go through 0, 0. So let's graph that line. My graphing tool, and I'll change to a different color here and make sure I have a solid line. Okay, so now y equals negative 2x. That means that at, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At 10, I'm going to be over at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll start here. I'll put it through 0, 0, and end up, let me make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be there. And it looks like I need to fix where I'm at on the top here. Do that. Oops, redo. Okay. And now I need to select it and put it right through there. Okay. So there's the other line that I have. Now, what do I have? I have a point right there. Well, let's see, what is that point? Well, my x coordinate is going to be 2, and my y coordinate is negative 1, 2, 3, 4. So this point is 2, negative 4. And that's my solution. Okay, let's go on to the substitution method now. And similarly here, I need to deal with each of these equations separately. And in the substitution method, I need to get one of the equations solved for one of the variables. And the easiest equation to do that in is going to be this one. So let's go ahead and solve this one for y, the easiest one to solve for. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides of the equation, leaving me with negative y equals negative 2x plus 17. I'll deal with the negative by dividing by negative 1 on both sides of the equation. And that will leave me with y equals 2x minus 17. Again, dividing by negative 1 just changes all of the signs. Okay, so now I have an expression in terms of x for y. And I'm going to plug that in to the other equation. So what I have here now, I'm going to write 3x plus 4 times, and instead of putting y, I'm going to put that 2x minus 17. In fact, let me change the colors here just to make it clearer. 2x minus 17. We'll go back to the blue, equals negative 13. Okay, so now I just need to solve this equation to find out what x equals. So I'm going to distribute. So I'll bring down my 3x, and that'll give me plus 8. I'm going to back up and make that plus clearer. 3x plus 8x minus, okay, 4 times 17. Well, let's see. 2 times 17, 2 times 7 is 14. Okay, so that's going to give me 34. 34 times 2 will give me 68. Equals negative 13. Okay, so I have some like terms to combine here. So that's going to give me 11x minus 68 equals negative 13. And now I'm going to add 68 to both sides of the equation. So that'll give me 11x equals, okay, let's see here. 68 minus 13. Well, 8 minus 3, that'll give me 5. And 6 minus 1, that's 5, so I've got 55. And yes, it's positive, it's the 68, positive one, has the larger absolute value or the larger magnitude. So now I just divide both sides by 11, giving me x equals 5. Okay, so now I have a start to solving my equation here. In solving an equation, I'm creating the coordinates of a point. I'm creating an ordered pair, and my x value was 5. Now I just need to find the y value. So, how do I find the y value? Well, I'm going to take this 5, and I'm going to plug it in to one of these equations, and it doesn't really matter which one, in order to solve for y. And I think this is going to be the easier one to work with, so let me bring it down here. Whoops. Let's see if I can fix that. Bring that back over and bring that down. Okay. So now I'll put it right here, and I'm going to go ahead and plug in 5 for my x. So now I have, oops, I need a pen. No, I'll just go with black. 2 times, and I'm going to plug in the 5. Let me make that easier to read. Okay. 2, here I plug in the 5, minus y equals 17. And now I just need to solve for y. So now 2 times 5 is 10, minus y equals 17. Subtract 10 from both sides, and I'll end up with negative y. Extend this page. Equals 7. Divide both sides by negative 1. And I'll have y equals negative 7. So back up here, my ordered pair is 5, negative 7. Now, I've done all of that work. I need to check this work. First of all, it's really easy to make a sign mistake somewhere along the way, and checking the work will help me to catch those sign mistakes. Also, it's not uncommon for people to make other mistakes, so we need to check this work. So my ordered pair is 5, negative 7. Let me copy it over to this other page. 5, comma, negative 7. And I'm going to plug this into each of these 2 equations. Let me go ahead and move these around so I can deal with them separately. So first, let's plug it in here. So I've got 2 times 5 minus negative 7. Make sure that you get both the minus and the negative in there, equals 17. Over here, when I plug it in, I'm going to end up with 3 times 5 plus 4 times negative 7 equals negative 13. So let's deal with these one at a time. We'll come back over here to the equation on the left. 2 times 5 is 10. And then minus negative 7, that's the same thing. Let's see here, these cancel each other out. And that gives me the same thing as plus 7 equals 17. And well, 10 plus 7 is 17, so 17 equals 17, and it checks. Okay, now let me check the other side. Okay, 3 times 5 is 15. And then I'm going to put minus because that negative 7 is going to make this minus. So 4 times negative 7 is negative 28. So minus 28 equals negative 13. So let's take a look at this. Well, if I took 28 and I subtracted 15 from it, 8 minus 5 is 3. 2 minus 1 is 1. That's going to give me a 13, but as the 28 has the larger absolute value and it's negative, my answer will be negative. So negative 13 equals negative 13, and that one also checks. In order for my solution to be the correct solution, it has to check in both equations.